introduced a bill that would essentially defund national public radio. Can you tell us why you did that?
In this age of having trillion-dollar annual deficits, we have to get our federal spending under control. The American people get this. They understand it. Look at the elections last November. So we have to be serious about making spending decisions. NPR can survive on its own. It has quality programming, and I know that in the free market, should they decide to do that with a new business model, they could survive and even thrive. So let's let them loose from taxpayer subsidies. Money is fungible. Money can be changed around, so because of that, we have to defund all of the programming. However, local stations can still use privately raised funds to buy programming or create programming.
Could you maybe just expand on that?
Well, it'd be picking winners and losers for one thing, and because money is fungible, to stop the connection between federal taxpayer dollars and NPR, we had to structure it this way. Now, some on the Democratic side are saying that this is not cutting spending. Why are they fighting so hard if that's the case? They know very well that this does that when you combine this with appropriations bills, such as H.R. 1, which we passed several weeks ago. The best we've been able to come up with, when you add the numbers together in this bill, is $65 million. Now, only
$65 million in saving that you saved from this bill?
$64 million in savings. Just under 65. Only in Washington could people say that that's not serious money. We have to start somewhere. To reach $1.5 trillion, there's no one program that's going to do that. It's going to be a combination of many steps. So we have to take a lot of steps to get the goal of getting our spending under control. I had filed my legislation in the last Congress to do exactly this before any of that ever happened, even before the Juan Williams fiasco took place.
Taxpayer money also goes to radio programs like Voice of America. It goes to public television. Why not include them? Do you think, I'm actually curious if you think government should be out of the news business completely?
Voice of America, to me, is in a separate category because it's part of spreading democracy and freedom in other countries that don't hear about what's happening in America. Here in America, I don't see a role for government media at all. And so this should only be one of several steps. We should also look at the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which Republicans did also address in H.R. 1 several weeks ago and defunded. So we need to continue that. Right now, NPR, frankly, is more on people's minds. So we have their attention. So that's why we're focusing this week on NPR. I would be doing this even if it was right-leaning or neutral, because there's no need for government to be subsidizing media in this day when there are hundreds and hundreds of media choices for every American out there. Over the internet, over satellite, you can't turn around with having more media options. So we're not in the same context and environment where NPR was first created 40 years ago.
Do you see this actually going anywhere after today?
Well, hopefully this passes the House today. I can't predict what the Senate will do. If they want to take ownership of continuing to fund things that have outlived their usefulness, and in this day and age, if they want to keep spending money on things that the American people think do not need the funding, if we're going to get our spending under control, they can make that choice. And the same for the president. I think it's a mistake, and I think voters will remember that, but they have that right.